Black Ops 7 isn't just a bad game, it's the biggest failure in Call of Duty history, and it didn't happen by accident. I know everybody's already talking about it, and there's a reason why. Between botched launch and record low player counts, this might actually be the moment Call of Duty finally breaks. Even if you ignore the numbers for a second, the reaction alone says everything. You can't scroll shorts of TikTok without running into memes clowning on this campaign. Nah, seriously, man, what the hell is that? Am I in an alternate universe? This game has become a spectacle for speculation. Theories ranging from how the old COD developers left the game back in 23 to start new projects, all the way to Penguin Zero dipping his toes in talking about the AI-generated content. This is a disaster. Large speculation and even some leaks lead to the idea that a lot of this game was developed and creatively led using artificial intelligence. But of course, the dev team loves to argue to the contrary, and honestly, I'm not sure what's worse. AI doing this, or humans being completely responsible? In this article by GameSpot by Eddie McCook, he talks about how Activision has once again confirmed that AI tools were used in the development of Call of Duty. Now, I'm not sure if this was the GameSpot journalist, or if this was Activision saying that using AI tools is in tradition with the franchise. Whether it's Activision or GameSpot is irrelevant. The narrative they're trying to push is that because they used it once, you can't be mad about it. They're saying that the player shouldn't be mad because it's part of the tradition now, because you used it in another terrible Black Ops game. This kind of reasoning suggests they're trying to normalize something that players aren't exactly thrilled about. It's a slippery slope for the entire franchise. This just goes to show how out of touch they may actually be with what players actually want. In a statement, Activision said the creative process is handled by humans, with AI tools helping out. Like so many around the world, we use a variety of digital tools, including AI tools, to empower and support our teams to create the best gaming experiences possible for our players. Or did you mean so that we're able to shit out a game every fucking year? An anonymous source within Activision told Wired in 2024 concept artists working on Call of Duty were forced to use AI to aid in their work. The report added that a lot of 2D artists got laid off in early 2024 as part of Microsoft's wider job cuts. And this is where the AI excuse starts to make a lot more sense, and not in a good way. Because while they're telling players that AI improves the workflow and enhances the experience, Microsoft has been quietly laying off actual artists, 2D artists, UI artists, concept artists, the people who give these games personality. So let's be honest about what's really happening here. This isn't about innovation, it's about cost cutting. When you lay off the people responsible for visual identity and replace that gap with AI tools, you don't get creativity, you get efficiency. And efficiency is the enemy of soul in all video games. That's why Black Ops 7 feels so empty, not broken, not buggy, just lifeless. And the scary part is, this doesn't stop with Call of Duty. If one of the biggest franchises in gaming can get away with gutting its art teams and calling it tradition, then every AAA publisher is watching and taking notes. Why pay artists when an algorithm can pump out good enough assets, faster and cheaper? That's the future they're testing, and Black Ops 7 is the result. Not a passion project, not a creative risk, just content assembled to ship on time. And if this becomes the standard, AAA games aren't going to get better from here. They're going to get safer, blander, and more disposable. Now look, every Call of Duty loses players, that's normal, but this isn't normal. This recognizes a new trend. Look how many people showed up for Black Ops 6. But then look how quickly they fell off. And that was Black Ops 6, which is arguably a much better video game. Look how few people even bothered to show up for Black Ops 7, and then they lost more than they gained. This is not only a slow decline over months, this is players leaving almost immediately. For the first time in this Steam Tracker's history, we're hitting a low player count record of 35,000 average monthly players, with the peak players being 57,000, which is, again, a record. And this is what happens when games stop feeling human. Players don't just get angry, they get bored. And yeah, Steam isn't the entire player base, but trends don't lie. When engagement collapses this fast on one platform, it's happening everywhere. That would explain why their PR team is so quick and defensive to answer some of these glaring questions. Call of Duty used to dominate attention globally. Black Ops 7 can't even hold it. And if this is the response after leaning harder in AI and cutting artists, the next question's pretty obvious. Where does Call of Duty go from here? Funny part is, people aren't even mad anymore. The anger was short-lived. They're going back to older games that still feel complete. Black Ops 7 isn't failing because it took risks, it's failing because it didn't take any. If AAA studios keep cutting artists and filling the gaps with AI, we're not going to get better games. We're going to get cheaper ones. And when that happens, players don't protest. They leave, as you can see. Call of Duty can survive bad games. What it can't survive is being ignored. When you put all of this together, the AI shortcuts, the layoffs, the player drop-off, Black Ops 7 stops looking like a fluke. It looks like a business decision. We care because Call of Duty shaped us. Call of Duty didn't used to feel like this. Even when a game missed, it still felt made by people who cared. Who remembers when Ghost missed? Who remembers all the hate that Black Ops 3 got? I've even met people that like Advanced Warfare. I can't say I'm part of that crowd. But anyway, Black Ops 7 doesn't feel hated, it feels unfinished. We need to understand that this is the future of a lot of AAA studios, and this is where they're quietly moving. We need to let them know it's not something we want, or will pay for. Stop paying for these things. I think I'd be getting a bit ahead of myself if I said that Black Ops 7 is the end of Call of Duty. It's not, but it's certainly a warning, and we can tell by the downward trend that this may be the beginning of the end, because franchises don't die when people complain. They die when people stop caring. And right now, that's the real problem.